It's the Simcoe Natural Foods May show. I'm with Leigh, and every month we get together and do a little. Well, Leigh does a little cooking, and I observe and kind of wish I had it here so I could eat it. But what are we doing today?
Hi, Dave. Good morning. I am making a loaded maple walnut granola. So I call it loaded because it's got other nuts and dried fruit and seeds in it. So it's
All right.
just
Well,
chock full of goodness.
give me the list of ingredients. What are we putting in there today then? So
Uh,
what do we got?
so I've got organic rolled oats.
Why do
That's
you want organic?
well, because unfortunately, oats are one of those Roundup ready crops. So they spray
Oh,
glyphosate on it. Yeah. So Roundup.
so the
You buy
organ.
organic, you're pretty well guaranteed that it's free of that
Okay.
chemical, yeah, which I
And,
think everybody knows is not good.
no, and you guys have that at the store, right?
Yes, of
Okay.
course, we have organic rolled oats. So I've got walnuts, chopped walnuts. Walnuts are, I like it to tell my kids they're shaped like little brains because they're good for your brain.
Hmm.
Brain
Yeah,
food.
yeah.
Yeah.
Walnuts are. That's a great point to bring up because I never really thought about it. How important nuts are for the whole system, aren't they?
Yeah, nuts are amazing. They get a bad rap because of lectins that can cause inflammation in some people, but I would say the majority of people can eat them without any problems at all. And really, the benefits outweigh the risks. And walnuts are just so full of omega-3 fats, so that's why they're good for your brain.
That's one of the things we don't get enough of, isn't it? Omega-3.
Yeah, I'm always talking about omega-3.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done studies where people even take fish oil on a regular basis, get their blood tested, and they're still low. So you really
Really?
just take fish oil and expect to meet your needs. You have to get some things in your diet as well. And it really helps reduce inflammation, keep your skin moist and supple, and your eyes, keep your eyes healthy.
With when you were talking about the walnuts and they may cause inflammation, I think there's, and correct me if I'm wrong, but different types. Like I love almonds, right?
Yeah.
There's always a little bit of difference between all the different types of nuts, isn't there? That
Yeah.
cashews as well. And
Yeah, it's more the peanuts and the cashews that are higher in those what they call lectins.
oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you're sticking with almonds and walnuts, you're doing pretty good, and then your seeds as well. So I've got sesame seeds.
Hmm.
Raw sesame seeds are going in, and they're amazing little nutrient dense powerhouses. They've got calcium, magnesium, iron. They meet like a quarter of your daily needs in a serving. So they're pretty awesome.
And almonds, if you're using substituting walnuts for almonds, I think almonds are really good for your. Um, oh, now I'm drawing a blank.
They've got lots of calcium in them. They're good
Yes.
for bones. Yeah.
Yep. The
Um,
density.
and they've got lots of fiber as well. So everything that's going in here is chock full of fiber. The oats have a really special type of fiber called beta glucan. And it is a soluble fiber that is scientifically proven to help lower cholesterol, bad
Oh,
cholesterol. Yeah.
so
So,
there, yeah,
yeah, oats in your diet every day is generally a good thing for most of us.
yeah, I agree. Well, fiber is critical.
Yeah.
So, and again, I don't think enough people get enough fiber. We all can use a bit more. That's for sure in our diet.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
so what's your process here? How are we going to mix all this stuff together?
So I've got 3 cups of oats and I rough chop a cup of walnuts and a cup of almonds. Throw that together in a big bowl, add a quarter cup of sesame seeds. I've also got a cup of unsweetened, unsulfured, because that's processed. So this is raw coconut, shredded coconut.
Okay.
Got a cup of that as well. And then I did a cup of dried unsweetened cranberries.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like cranberries. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can do any kind of dried fruit if you like raisins or dried blueberries. We have dried tart cherries at the store that are like delicious.
They got a little bit of a bite, I bet.
Yeah, they do. And it's nice to kind of cut the sweetness with a little bit of tart, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, oh, and I've got a tablespoon of Ceylon cinnamon, and like a tablespoon. I
What?
love cinnamon,
Okay.
and
What's
Ceylon cinnamon is a specific type of
that's
cinnamon
what's
that helps control your blood sugar. And when you buy it, you can be pretty much guaranteed that it's not cut with something else, because some of the cinnamons you buy that are less expensive, that might not be pure cinnamon. They might have added something else, and half of it's not real cinnamon. So our Ceylon cinnamon is the real deal.
How do you make sure? Like, I mean, you guys are great at Simple Natural Foods when you go in, but it's just what you just said. You're like looking at the back. If you're in a grocery store, you're looking at the back of a label, and you're like, I don't know what that is. Let alone I can barely read it, right? Unless I have my glasses. But you're
Yeah,
like, you don't know what half the product is.
yeah. I mean, you've got to check the ingredients and the non-ingredient list. Sometimes there's a non-ingredient list, and that's where you might find that there's something else in there. But if the ingredient just says cinnamon, you're probably pretty good to go.
Okay.
But the Ceylon cinnamon's a little more expensive, but also much more effective at helping control blood sugar. So it's one of those special kinds of cinnamon.
That's another critical factor that as people age too, that's one
Yeah.
of the things you want to keep in mind. Uh,
Yeah.
so you got the base again. I guess we'll talk about it because you started mixing stuff and then you just keep
Yeah.
adding.
So all the dry ingredients that I've mentioned are going to go together. You need a large bowl. Just mix it all together. A good size pinch of sea salt as well. And then the wet ingredients are so pure maple syrup, 6 tablespoons.
I don't think that's enough for me.
Yeah, you can
No, that's
always
way
sprinkle
more.
more on top after. A quarter cup of organic coconut oil. So you want to buy unprocessed coconut oil. So you don't want to buy the deodorized stuff or the liquid stuff. You just want the pure organic coconut oil. And coconut oil is really good for energy. It's got MCT in it, so medium chain triglycerides. Our body can use that for energy. So helps sustain you a little bit longer, keep you full a little bit longer. So I've got a quarter cup of that, 6 tablespoons of maple syrup, and 2 tablespoons of raw honey. And I just melted it in a saucepan over medium heat. And then after I took it off the heat, I added a teaspoon of vanilla. And you can also add almond extract if you like that, and it really pops. It's a nice flavor. So once you've got all of that melted, then you just pour it over your dry ingredients. It's so easy. I think the most time consuming thing is chopping up the nuts. And then you need to just stir it all together, and you'll need a large rimmed baking sheet lined with parchment paper.
Yep.
And I always buy unbleached parchment paper as well, because the bleach that's in the paper can leach
Yep.
into your food as well. So we even have that at the store. Like, we have everything. And I preheated the oven to 300 degrees. So on a rack in the middle, you're just going to spread your mixture out evenly on the parchment paper. Bake it for 30 minutes. Halfway through, you can give it a little stir. And if you like it really crispy as opposed to chewy, then you can bake it a little longer. Basically, you're looking for it to be golden brown.
Okay.
Then you'll know it's done. Then you can let it cool right on the baking sheet. And once it's cool, you can break it up. So it breaks up into chunks.
It crumbles pretty good then, eh?
Yeah, so like this is the final product here. So you can see it's pretty.
Ooh. So you could now I'm just thinking of like pouring almond milk all over that and adding blueberries.
Yeah.
Like it's a breakfast cereal almost for me, right?
Yeah.
Like that's so healthy. And you guys do some fun things with the kids with it, right?
We make little parfaits with
Yeah.
I get unsweetened Greek yogurt, put it in the bottom, layer it, put fresh fruit. You can add extra dried fruit, like if you like tart cherries.
And do you guys with that, can you freeze it What's the next step? What can I do with it? How long will it last?
I have never had to freeze it because we eat it all within a week. Like guaranteed every time. So I keep it in an airtight container just in the cupboard, but I freeze a lot of my nuts, so I think it would freeze well for maybe up to a month.
Okay.
Yeah, but keeping it in the cupboard, I think you could keep it for a couple weeks. It has no preservatives, so it could start to get moist if you keep it too long.
Yeah. So let's talk. I want to quickly go over because the amount of nutritional value in that is crazy. Tell me about that because I don't think people realize what you're getting. Like you said, you add a little Greek yogurt to it. Look at
Yeah.
all the positives you're doing for your body. Like, let's go over that.
Yeah, you're getting a solid source of protein. Most of the seeds and nuts I've added all have high amounts of calcium, magnesium. The sesame seeds especially are really nutrient dense, so they've got zinc and iron as well. And then your fiber coming in, like we've got the roughage type fiber, the insoluble fiber, and then that special beta glucan fiber that's in the oats is more of a gelatinous type fiber. So it really soaks things up and keeps things moving.
And like you said, it's very little time. Like you said, you spent most time just chopping up the walnuts, but I mean, in 30 minutes in the oven is nothing.
No.
And you know what you're getting. I think that's like I go to the store and buy something similar, but I really don't know what's in it. I
Yeah.
really don't know what the
And
product is.
even some of the healthier granolas that you can buy they're still using cane sugar.
Yes.
And if you look at the label, like
it's super high.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I don't need that.
Like you really want to avoid having more than 10 grams of sugar in a serving. This would have a lot less. I haven't measured it out, but in a cup's worth, you would have a lot less sugar. That's 3 cups of oats. Like that's a whole container about this big of granola that you're making, about twice as much as what you would get in those little packages at the store.
And the omegas you talked about, there's just so many different things that are going on with that little.
Bring all your bases, your carbs, your fats, your protein, getting all your macros, and then your micronutrients as well.
And you can substitute, like you could use almonds instead of walnuts. We talked for a second about that, but there's lots of things like that you could like my wife loves pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, right? So you could do a lot of different things with it, couldn't you?
Sometimes I just use whatever I have in the cupboard. If I don't have any nuts, I'll just do a cup of pumpkin seeds and a cup of sunflower seeds, raw hemp seeds as well, flax seeds. So you can really experiment with it. And if it's not sweet enough to your taste, you can always drizzle a little more maple syrup on top after. And you're going to amp up the nutrition if you put some raw, like fresh berries on it too, right?
If you're gonna, like, you got all these products at Simcoe Natural Foods, and I'm looking at your little stash there, stuff you got. Realistically, when you're buying it this way, you know what I mean, you're probably saving money in the long run because you're able to make enough. You probably got enough there for 3 or 4 or 5 batches, but the whole point of it is that you can still do it. It's all in your house, and you can make it up whenever you want. You don't have to spend $20 to go get one bag of it that lasts 12 minutes. You want to get something that's lasts a lifetime, not a lifetime, but lasts for a while for the kids.
Exactly. Yeah. If you make it yourself, you're probably cutting the costs in half because the granolas that they sell in the store just keep getting more expensive.
And the other part is, we were talking today about, you and your family, but as I age, it's so important to eat right and healthy all the time. So, it's very appealing when you see that you can do this and sort of have it all in the cupboard. And I love the different types of nuts. We were talking off air about that. You mix the walnuts and the almonds together and have a few cashews, and it's a great snack, right? Fills you up and away you go.
Yeah. Sometimes I just throw it together with some extra nuts to make a trail mix out of it. And, maybe add some dark chocolate chunks or something. And
just a few.
Yeah. It'll give you some energy to keep going.
This is and I'm glad you brought it up about trail mix because this is a great summer snack.
Yeah.
With warm weather coming, it's something you can put together. You throw it in your cooler or just throw it in your pocket. And
a lot of moms are looking for something to just grab and go when they're running out the door. So.
And you don't want to buy all the processed stuff, folks. You want to have something that it's healthy for your kids.
Yeah,
That's why we do this show, isn't it, Leigh? To help the kids. It's all about the kids.
exactly. It's all about the kids.
So you're at Simple Natural Foods. They can stop in and see you or Laura, and the recipe will be in the hub. And we'll have this is obviously our podcast. We'll have the recipe like always at the end so folks can check it out.
And
And
then
if they haven't,
we've got Herma and Marianne.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Who else can they talk to there, right? Like,
Yeah, and Marianne and Vicky. They're really awesome. So yeah, we're all there to help. We're all educated, and
that's the cool part too that I really appreciate about the store is that, you know, a lot of big box stores, and I understand that society, but when you go into Simple Natural Foods, if you have a question, somebody can answer it or explain it to you, because I don't know if this is with my body's different than yours, and I'm a little bit older, so do I need more of this or less of this, and what should I be more aware of? And
yeah,
you really start to ask all those questions, and then you sort of find out what works for you, right?
yeah, and we really just want people to go home with a positive experience, you know, start where they're ready to start from, whether it's starting with one supplement or a whole protocol, or just changing their diet a little bit, or overhauling their whole cupboard. You know,
Yeah.
we'll meet you where you're at. And if we can't answer your questions, we know lots of great people in the community that maybe we can send you to as well, like a naturopath or a nutritionist. So yeah, we're try to support the community and help each other out, right?
That's perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And I appreciate you taking the time, because you got to get everything ready. You know, you had to get the kids
Yeah.
off to school this morning, then you got to deal with me. So it's like you got the third
Well,
kid right here.
I get the bonus like extra batch of granola, so
That's
I'll
true
just
too.
bring it to work and share it. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, yeah, hand that out to the customers. Well, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for doing this. Look forward to next month. You got any idea what we're doing next month? I'm just curious.
I think I'm gonna do a coconut oil fudge.
Oh, fudge next month?
Yeah.
All right. I'm intrigued. Talk to you next month. Take care.
Okay, thanks for having me. Bye.